They're calling it Operation Dragon Eye, a massive 2-week operation that has led to the rescue of more than 60 missing children across our region.
America, what I'm about to show you is going to restore your faith in law enforcement while breaking your heart at the same time. The U.S. Marshals just completed what they're calling the largest child recovery operation in American history. Operation Dragon Eye rescued 60 children and teens who were being trafficked in Tampa Bay. But here's what's really going to shock you. Many of these kids weren't just missing, they were being systematically exploited by adults who were providing them with food and shelter in exchange for acts. One 15-year-old girl had been missing since April, and when marshals finally found her, she was hiding under a bed in a house with 2 men who claimed they had no idea she was underage.
"60 children and teens being trafficked in Tampa Bay are safer tonight." U.S. Marshals led a 2-week operation to recover critically missing and endangered children.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This operation shows what happens when law enforcement gets the resources and support they need to protect our most vulnerable citizens. But this also exposes a trafficking nightmare that's happening in every single community across America. Let me break down the incredible scope of Operation Dragon Eye. The U.S. Marshals, known for their ability to track down the most dangerous fugitives, turned their investigation skills into finding critical missing and endangered children. Over 2 weeks, they teamed up with detectives from Tampa, Hillsborough County, Pinellas County, St. Pete, and Pasco County.
This is why we do the job.
In a show of collaboration unlike anything before it, more than 100 personnel from 20 agencies joined forces in what's being called the most successful child recovery effort in U.S. history.
The results were staggering. 16 children and kids between the ages of 9 and 7 were rescued, and 8 arrests were made. But one of the marshals perfectly put it, the number is not a statistic. It actually represents a life and a future that was given one more chance.
Number is not just a statistic. It represents a life and a future.
What makes this operation even more remarkable is that many of these children had been in the system before. A significant number were from the foster care system, running from something or towards something, but often ending up in far more dangerous situations than what they were trying to escape. And you know what, guys? Watching these marshals fight for vulnerable children who can't protect themselves reminds me of another group that needs someone fighting for them. Our seniors, who are constantly being targeted by Medicare predators who see them as easy targets. Look, these trafficking predators target vulnerable kids because they know they're confused, scared, and don't know who to trust. Medicare scammers do the exact same thing to seniors. They target people who are overwhelmed by the system and don't have anyone who can advocate for them. That's why Chapter is so important. Like these U.S. Marshals dedicate their lives to protecting vulnerable children, Chapter's licensed advisors dedicate themselves to protecting vulnerable seniors from Medicare exploitation. Here's what makes Chapter different. They're not trying to profit off your confusion like these predators. Their advisors don't get paid commission, and they have zero incentive to push expensive plans that you don't need. They're like having your own personal marshal fighting against Medicare scammers. Chapter takes the same approach as Operation Dragon Eye. They don't give up until they find the right solution. They'll research every plan, understand your specific needs, and make sure you're protected from people trying to take advantage of you. If you're over the age of 65 or approaching Medicare eligibility, don't let predators exploit your confusion. Get somebody fighting for you. Check out Chapter at askchapter.org/Tyson or call 270-467-0614. When vulnerable people need protection, you need somebody who actually cares about your well-being. Now let me show you exactly how these heroes track down these missing children. Fox 13's Geneva Curtis was given unprecedented access to follow marshals during the search operation, and what she captured will give you chills. She got to see exactly how these heroes track down missing children, going door to door, checking security cameras, talking to community members, and following every lead, no matter how small.
They rely on information from the community, knocking on doors and just talking to people.
It's the girl they're looking for right here, supposed to be.
The case that really illustrates the dangers these children face involves a 15-year-old girl we're calling Paula, who had been missing since April. Deputy Marshal explained their concerns.
I believe that they're in a company with adults who are aiding them, hiding them, providing them resources such as food and housing.
But here's the disturbing reality that every parent needs to understand. Common sense would dictate that adults who are not relatives do not care about other people's children for nothing. They're getting something in return. Due to that, they have serious concerns that they may be exploiting them.
So due to that, we have serious concerns that there may be exploitation occurring.
When the task force finally tracked down Paula's location, what they found was both a victory and a tragedy. After getting a tip about her whereabouts, they approached the house where 2 men claimed they didn't know that she was underage. But when detectives searched the house, they found Paula hiding under a bed.
We searched the house, knocked on the brother's door. brother answered, and juvenile was hiding under his bed. So right now we're just gonna follow the investigation, see if we can make any arrests, and see where we can go from there.
Two men in the house claim that they had no idea that she was a minor at the time. The task force didn't have enough evidence to make the arrest. But as the marshal explained, we need to show the court that he knew that she was a minor. We're not there yet. The investigation continues. What happened next shows the humanity of these law enforcement officers. Here's what Detective Ortiz told a reporter.
I'm gonna talk to her mostly as a father figure, not as a law enforcement officer. I'm going to hear her out, see what she has to say.
Dr. Catherine Gomez, Director of Human Trafficking Intervention for Florida Department of Juvenile Justice, explained the harsh reality that most people don't want to acknowledge. These kids are from here, born here, raised here. There are kids being exploited right here in Florida by fellow local people.
From here, born here, raised here, there are kids being exploited right here in Florida by fellow local people.
This isn't some foreign problem or something that only happens in other countries. Trafficking happens in every county in every city in Florida, where children are being exploited by adults in exchange for food, clothing, or shelter. These predators are targeting the most vulnerable kids, those in foster care, those running away from bad situations, those who feel they have nowhere else to turn. The urgency of finding these children quickly cannot be overstated. The Marshals know that after 3 months, the chances of successful recovery drop dramatically. And here's what one of the community members warned about Paula.
One of the comments that we got from one of the guys on the street was that she's going to end up hurt or dead.
To understand why Operation Dragon Eye is so crucial, you need to know what happens when these children aren't found in time. The examples that I'm about to explain are heartbreaking and infuriating. In 2003, 16-year-old Miranda Corsett went missing from her grandmother's home in Gulfport. She was chronically running away, and police arrested 35-year-old Stephen Grass for allegedly beating her to death and dismembering her body.
This year, 16-year-old Miranda Corsett went missing. Gulfport police say she was chronically running away from her grandmother's home.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Police arrested 35-year-old Stephen Grass for allegedly beating her to death and then dismembering her body.
In 2022, 14-year-old Nexa Alexander was found shot in the head in East Tampa after running away from home. 44-year-old Ronnie Walker was arrested for her murder. These aren't isolated incidents. This is what happens when vulnerable children fall into the hands of predators.
In 2022, 14-year-old Alexia Alexander was found shot to death in East Tampa after running away from home. 44-year-old Ronnie Walker was arrested for her murder. So the Marshals know after 3 months, it is critical to find Paula.
U.S. Marshal William Berger, who used to be a foster parent himself, understands the environments that causes children to run away in the first place. He explained their two-prong approach. One is being able to identify them, being able to save them, but then putting them in the process with Bay Care and other facilities to help them both physically and psychologically to hopefully turn them around. America, Operation Dragon Eye represents everything that's right about American law enforcement when they're given the mission and resources to protect the most vulnerable citizens. 60 children who were living in hell are now safe. 8 predators who were exploiting innocent kids are now behind bars. But this operation also exposes the trafficking crisis that's happening in every community across the country. These aren't just statistics. These are 60 lives that were given a second chance, 60 futures that were saved from destruction. The law enforcement officers who conducted this operation are true heroes. They're not just tracking down fugitives, they're rescuing children from the worst kinds of exploitation imaginable. Detective Ortiz, talking to Paula as a father figure instead of just a cop, shows the heart these officers bring to this work. To the 60 children who were rescued, you matter, you're valuable, and you have people fighting for you every single day. Your lives have meaning beyond what any predator tried to tell you. And to the predators who think that they can exploit vulnerable children, law enforcement is coming for you. Operations like Dragon Eye prove that when good people work together with proper resources and determination, evil doesn't stand a chance. If you can save 50% of these children permanently, that's a tremendous success. But every single child saved is a victory. Every single life rescued is a miracle. And every single predator arrested makes our communities safer. I'll continue to follow this story and others like it because protecting children should be our highest priority in society. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.